Hi everyone, this is Candy Johnson and I am your host. This is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today we're going to be discussing, or I should say the topic is porn, perverts, and pedophiles. All right, those are the three P's for today. All right, porn, perverts, and pedophiles. All right. I thought it would be a very interesting topic to discuss because of the uh, unease surrounding those three words: porn, perverts, and pedophile. Okay. There's a lot of unease concerning these three words and many others in our society because of what type of mentality is surrounding these words, all right? And what do we associate with these words, okay? When you think about porn, or someone mentions the word porn or pornography, what do you associate with the word porn, okay? I know for myself, when I think about porn or pornography, the first thing that comes to mind is nudity, all right? Someone unclothed in some type of manner, all right? They unclothed and exposing their body without any type of restraints, all right? Even if say, for example, they have their, for the women, that sometimes the pornography or different adult entertainment, they'll have the woman naked, but they'll just have just her areolas or her nipples covered up, all right? And but that is still considered porn because the rest of her is revealed, all right? For the men, they'll have perhaps just their penises covered up, but the rest of them is revealed, all right? So even if you have a person where their body is turned a certain way, maybe to the side or backwards or whatever like that, and their body is exposed for the most part, and you can see that they have no clothing on, for the most part, this is considered as porn. Although if you have educational material where you would need to show the human body exposed, unclothed, to point out where the different parts of the body and things of that nature for educational purposes, these type of pictorials or images or videos are not considered pornography because the purpose that they are used for, all right? And there's a different, some of the different mindset that is portrayed when using these type of images, okay? Or videos, still imagery, all right? So when it comes to porn, most people consider, and I do myself, I consider porn not to be anything that involves sex, but when there is a purpose of arousing an individual, okay, involved. There's a purpose, whether it's subtle purpose or it's just outright. You can tell, there's no doubt about it, their whole purpose for displaying the body unclothed is to arouse someone, okay? Now, we're going to get into what classifies a person as a pervert in just a minute. But let's talk about porn for a little while longer here, all right? Because what people consider as pornography, all right, is really dependent upon the person and how they are aroused by the imagery or video. Hold on one second. We have fun. All right. We always have somebody trying to sell us something or something. All right. I might turn that radio off so I have any notice statuses. Okay. But back to the subject at hand. All right. We were talking about arousal. Okay. Now, many people are not aware of this, or perhaps it's not something they consciously consider. But different people are aroused by different things. Okay. So, what would be considered as pornography for one person is not necessarily something that arouses another person. All right. So let's give some examples of that. A good example of that is back in my renegade days, I used to manage females. Okay. And one particular, I told this story, but it's a good example in this, for an example in this session. I told a story about how this one man, he requested that he wanted a black woman in pantyhose. He liked his stockings. He was aroused by stockings, okay? So for someone else that prefers or is aroused by perhaps seeing someone's private areas, or aroused by seeing breast, or I've even seen guys that are aroused and have a foot fetish. All right. I know this one guy, he used to go around the club and ask women to take pictures of their feet. All right. And he was so creepy about it that although it's not a big deal for someone to take pictures of your feet, he was so creepy with it, and you could tell he was being aroused by it, that women would slap him because he would go around taking pictures of women's feet. Okay, so for him, seeing women's feet in high heels was porn for him. He was aroused by it. All right. And so there's that fine line of what turns you on type of thing that determines whether something is pornography. All right. Now, according to the basic standards of porn, all right, and that's showing exposing the body, and we already discussed that when the body is exposed for educational purposes, it's not considered by law as being pornography. All right. So where would you get the idea that where would you draw the line between this is educational, this is for educational purposes, or perhaps for to help spouses with their understanding their bodies and relating to say male female stamina, all right, or not stamina but stimulation, all right. So there are very informative books and materials out there that provide information on how to please for mates to please one another, that graphically describe how to reach orgasmic levels of sexual stimulation to the point of an orgasm. All right, and that's where you're at the peak of sexual pleasure. All right, it's called an orgasm. All right, so there's because sex itself is not impure. There are materials that are provided that give a pure understanding of how to stimulate and please someone sexually. All right. So this is not considered porn. All right. Maybe some people might feel a little uneasy about it, but it's not porn. Okay. It's a pure way. It's pure. Sex itself is not impure. And I really, truly believe that parents need to teach their children at some point the difference, okay, between what's pure and what's not, okay? Because this is why, and we're going to get into the pedophile, okay, and the pedophilia on the end. We're going to wrap this thing up and discuss what's going on with the pedophiles, okay? Because they are aroused by children, all right? But we're gonna stay right here and discuss the adults for a second, okay? Now, any consensual sexual contact between two individuals is not necessarily pure, but is acceptable by our society, all right? So therefore, when there's consent, meaning two people are agreeing, or maybe even three, if you want to do the orgy thing, or menage a trois, okay? Some people do that menage a trois stuff, all right, where there's three people, okay? Whether it be a menage a trois, if I'm not mistaken, it's where there's two males. I'm sorry, well, it probably can be two males and one female, or two females and one male, all right? That's called a menage a trois. Now, that's the circumstance where people are wanting to involve a third party into their sexual activity, okay? Because they're perhaps aroused by an additional person involved in the sexual contact, all right? But in any case, it is not acceptable when a person is not consensual, meaning they don't want to be a part of your being turned on or your arousal. They don't want to be a part of it, and you just make them be a part of it. You are then considered a violator, all right, or a pervert, okay? When you want to, say for example, people are just enjoying themselves and having a good time, whatever like that, and then you bring your pervert ass in there, whether male or female, and you bring your pervert ass up in there and you insert something sexual, okay? This is why they have sexual harassment laws on jobs, because when you're on your job, you're not expecting nobody to be trying to have sex with you and you at work, all right? Or trying to make any sexual advances towards you and you at work and you mind your own damn business, all right? You got to go to work. So a person can't just say, well, don't come to work then if you don't want nobody to make sexual advances. What the fuck? Unless you work at a strip joint, all right, then you shouldn't have to endorse somebody getting aroused by saying and making gestures and groping themselves, and just, those are the perverts, all right? Perverts that find pleasure in violating other people in the manner of just displaying any type of sexual, making noises, and what they call that, cat meows and growls and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, they're getting aroused by that, all right? They're getting aroused because they're perverts, okay? The perverts are people that like to violate other people, all right? Now, people might say I'll probably take the word pervert a little further than everybody else, because I add any kind of person that wanna make something sexual out of something that ain't sexual, I call them perverts, okay? I call them perverts, all right? And every time you talk to them, it don't matter what you talking about. You can be talking about green eggs and ham, and them motherfuckers will turn it into a something sexual, all right? And, you know, make, what do you call that? Suggestions, verbal suggestions about having sex. I went in this guy hangout one time, and, well, not one time, but several times. And this one particular guy, I think his name is Dan on Google, and he every time you talk to this come in the hangout where he at, he always got to have conversation, make the conversation sexual. He a creep, pervert, all right? And you can be just having a quarter conversation and enjoying yourself, whatever. He always interrupt a decent conversation to interject something perverted, all right? Them kind of people, you got to watch them, because they are potential pedophiles, all right? People that got all these memes and some type of sexual content. They got penises. I seen Atheist Machine, he posting penises the other day. Okay, I understand you gay, but do you have to post pictures of penises online? Did you have to do that? No, you didn't. You didn't. Okay, but you let us know you was a pervert. All right. Being gay doesn't necessarily make a person a pervert. What makes a person a pervert is when you want to share with other people your what arouses you without their fucking permission. All right, you violating, you pervert. All right. And when I see people that's perverts like that, they always violating and sharing they what arouses them and what turn them on. And as they know, they always talking about you gotta watch them, okay? Because they perverts, they ride a thin line to being pedophile. You got to watch them, okay? People that's addicted to porn, they ride a real thin line to being pedophiles. You got to watch them, all right? Watch them. Keep an eye on them, I'm telling you. I've been bruised all my life, okay, as a kid. And I noticed a pattern with those pedophiles, all right? See, they sneaky with it. Even one guy, old man, he was so sneaky with it. He said he was my godmother's father or grandfather, all right? But anyway, he lived out in the country or whatever like that, and he ain't had no woman and so forth. Or did he have a wife? Yeah, he did have a wife, but she probably wasn't giving him none in her old age or whatever, but he was still creep. So anyway, he was a pervert. So he said, come here, come on over here. and sit on Popo lap, sit on Popo, come sit on Popo lap. So, a kid not knowing that he a pervert, go and they thinking, oh, I'm just going to sit on Popo lap. And men like to put children on their lap because then they get aroused, and the kids sitting there, all right, and they penis going down their pants, and so it's they're getting aroused or whatever like that, and the kids sitting on their lap, all right, but can't nobody see that they being aroused, okay, because the kids sitting there and ain't nobody paying no attention, and perverts have a way of making you think they ain't studying about doing nothing, don't have no business. So they do extra stuff to seem like they don't have any bad intentions towards the child. You gotta watch them people that seem real good with kids. I watch them. I watch them really too good with kids. You know, one guy, he used to ask me about my kids. When it was time when I'm dating. And this motherfucker asked me too many times about my motherfucking kids. All right. Like, you supposed to be trying to date me, all right? But you already asked me, okay, do you have any kids or whatever like that? And I told him, yeah, I got 2 kids. And he kept asking me, where your kids at? And, do you ever you do this with your kids or whatever like that? And I said, oh, what the fuck? This motherfucker done asked me too many goddamn times. I told that motherfucker, you sound like a potential fucking pedophile. You didn't ask me about my motherfucking kid too many times. All right. And you too interested in my motherfucking kid. All right. You too motherfucking interested. Now, one thing about me, I really believe that if a woman is a single woman and she's in the position of dating or whatever like that, and that shoot, if a man don't like your kids, then you don't want him. He ain't no good. All right, you don't want him. Okay, because he gonna have to like the whole package. And if you already got kids from previous relationship, he gonna have to take you in the whole package. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But you got to watch them motherfuckers. Okay, that too interested in the motherfucking kids. Okay. Y'all ladies, y'all need to pay attention to these men. They're too interested in your motherfucking kids. All right? Them pedophiles. That's what they is. They're pedophiles. Okay? You gotta watch these men also, that they are always interested. They old men, but they're always interested in young women. You gotta keep your eye on them. Not to they pedophile. All right. Now that we done already dipped on over into the discussion about the pedophile, I want you to know that anytime you got a person that's that's freaky, that don't mean they perverted to the point of pedophilia. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. All right, because when I'm with my mate, you rest assured I'm gonna take care of them. I'm gonna take care of them well, but I ain't studying nobody violating no children. So same thing with a man. A man can be very sexual, all right, and not be a pedophile. He may just be very sexual or he's very attracted by his mate or by women in general, all right. I did say women, okay, that's the key word. He's turned on by women, all right. And when I'm saying women, okay, if a man is turned on by men, that's fine. I'm not trying to point out the heterosexual, that if you're heterosexual, you're not a pervert. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they are turned on by adults, not children, all right? So the pedophiles are people that they ain't interested in no adults. They want to fuck with people children that is weak-minded or can't tell them no, or they can get consent from a child without them even knowing what they consenting to. See, they violators. All right, these are we get into the pervert pedophile zone. This is what their mindset is. Okay, they are most likely people that can't relate very well with adults. Okay, so they tend to delve off into fucking with the children, all right? And then anything go with these kind of people. Anything go, all right? Because they violated. So I want people to know, all right, that you got some women out there that's pedophile too, okay? Because I've been bruised by male and female. So I know this is him, all right? And I've also met other women that were lesbian, and they told me that they was not lesbian because they was abused by a man. They told me that they got their desire for lesbianism from being abused by a woman, okay? So please believe there are women pedophiles out there too. Y'all need to start paying attention. All these women like, oh, I love kids. Watch them. All right. And kissing. This one lady that violated me not too long ago. And I know that bitch was a freak pedophile. I knew she was a pervert. Okay. But I was in a situation I couldn't really do nothing about it. All right. And I told the mother of the child because she was always grabbing this little boy, and she would say, he's so cute and he's so this and he's so that. And she grabbed the little boy and she kissed all on him, kissing. Just it was just too much kissing for to be somebody else's kid. You don't even know was a total stranger. You just kissing. She just having herself a ball kissing on this little boy. All right. And I said, ew. I said, that's some nasty ass shit. Like she doing true. And the stupid lady, she was thinking, oh, she really loved my son. Bitch, now this lady is a pedophile. She was already had lost her kids because she was had her children having sex with one another. She worked in the witchcraft and sacrificing and all kinds of nasty perverted stuff. So some kind of way Child Protective, the kid went to the school and said something about it or was doing something at school that was inappropriate. And he told the people at the school that, well, this is what mama, basically what mama showed us how to do this here, or whatever like that. So they found out she was teaching them how to having sexual contact with each other, her older son with her younger kids and all this kind of stuff like this here, all right? And she had all boys, okay? So she had all her, she was a real fat lady. And she, I guess it probably was hard for her to get a man, but she had 3 boys or whatever like that. So she was using her own kids to have sex with them, all right? So I want y'all to know, okay, and this same lady, she had abused me, all right? But she gets away with it, all right, because people don't think of women as being sexual violators, all right? But she was, and she did that though, all right? And it was a Caucasian lady, so where I was, it was a lot of prejudice going on, and I don't really look for prejudice, but it was very obvious where I was when it happened and the way they treated it. It was they treated me like I did something wrong for reporting it. And I was like, what in the world? And what the fuck is going on here? You know, but I gathered, you know, that there was, you know, it's a racial issue, like you, because when another circumstance had happened where somebody just said that somebody, and it was the black person, had was saying something inappropriate, they quickly dismissed, quickly dismissed him. All right, and then it was a male. All right, they quickly dismissed him just on what somebody said. He said, okay, listen up. All right. So this lady actually done something, and they ignored that like it wasn't nothing. Ignored it, clearly, just pretending that nothing ever happened. All right. So one aspect of that was the racial issue, but the major aspect of that was that it was a female. Okay. And that's the part I want to point out, how our society has painted this picture that one, all gays are perverts and pedophiles and so forth, and that's just so not the truth. Many of the people that are gay have been abused, and they don't want to abuse nobody else because their lives are fucked up because of the abuse. So they don't want to abuse someone else. Okay, that's the first point I want to make. Second point I want to make is that a lot of people only consider men as being pedophiles or perverts. But there are women out there who are nasty, hoe-ass creeps too, all right? And they sick in the mind, all right? And people just overlook that like it ain't nothing. Like a man can't be abused by a woman. Now, I want you to know that my first husband was abused by his babysitter. She made him perform oral sex on her, I'm sorry. And he was a little boy, all right, because she apparently wasn't getting whatever she needed. So she made him perform oral sex on her from a little kid, all right. So I want y'all to know that it's women out there who is perverts, just like it's men out there who is perverts. And they pedophiles, all right? And y'all need to be aware, pay attention. And, you know, I'm going to end this segment for right now. Until next time, keep it real or take your ass back to fantasy land.